Hello everybody! So this is the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolut, and we are gone, nay. Talk about why it is called the Swedish missile. So let's dive in. Alright, so here we have the new 2023 Koenigsegg Jesko Absolut. Now this thing looks pretty wild, right? But before we get into all the crazy stats, let's talk about that name. So Jesko is actually the name of the founder of the company. This is kind of like their flagship model. The top of the line and the name Absolut comes from the fact that this car has no limitations. It is an absolute hype. Now, with that being said, there are only 125 of these going to be made. They're all sold out and they start at $3 million. And with the insane amount of power this thing produces, I think it's more than just justified. Now, looking at the design of this car, it looks very aerodynamic. It looks like a missile. It looks like something that could be launched from a submarine. And actually, the reason that they even considered naming this car the A9 is because the shape reminds them of the AGM-A9 missile. And if you look at the front of the car, you can see why. There's no grille, there's no headlights. You know, there's no turn signals. If this thing didn't have a windshield, it would probably be illegal to drive on public roads, but there is a set of LED headlights tucked away behind those two intakes up front. And looking at the rear, we have a massive wing. We have a diffuser. We have a center exhaust. All of this is designed to make this car stick to the road, to make it incredibly fast, and to make it handle really well at high speeds. Speaking of high speeds, this car is electronically limited to 480 kilometers per hour. That's about 300 miles per hour. Now, it might not seem like that's that much faster than other cars that are out there. But remember that this thing weighs less than 1,300 kilograms. It's got a twin-turbo V8 that produces 1,600 horsepower. It's got 6 exhaust pipes. It goes from 0 to 100 in under 3 seconds. And it has a 9-speed transmission. The thing is with these hypercars, the amount of engineering that goes into these things is absolutely incredible. Just take a look at the air vents on the side. It looks like this is straight out of a sci-fi movie. It doesn't look like it belongs on a car. Same thing with the rear end. It looks like almost an afterthought. We also have to talk about the interior because it looks pretty wild as well. You have this gauge cluster in the middle, which looks like it's straight out of a fighter jet. We've got the steering wheel. We've got the pedals, but everything else is kind of hidden away. You don't see a lot of it. And that's because a lot of the controls are actually in the steering wheel. Now, I couldn't find any images of the interior with the top part of the steering wheel. I don't know why, but there it is. And as you can see, there's a ton of buttons up here. Now, apparently, each one of these buttons can be programmed to do pretty much whatever you want. Also, another cool feature is that this gear stick here, it's not just for shifting gears. If you push it forward, it actually turns into park. Now, obviously, you guys are going to want to see what this thing sounds like. So let me play a little clip, and then we'll finish off. Alright, so that was absolutely insane. I love the sound of that car. That is a really cool feature that I haven't seen before. So basically, the way that it works is that the exhaust pipes, they actually open up and close depending on how much back pressure is needed. Now, normally you wouldn't be able to hear anything because everything is hidden underneath this massive wing. But since the pipes actually go over the top of the engine, you can hear it really well inside of the car. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about in this video. Let me know your thoughts. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to stay tuned for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys next time.